Hi everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Origin Awakening. So I'll go back to work tomorrow, but I've made some serious progress.
Press the attack! Go! The lost is mine!
What did he say was his? Can I check that in the journal? No, I can't. Something was mine, but I don't know what he said was his. Should have been paying more attention.
Dark spot! It is begun.
Ah, from each of the elements, so those two should stack together. Oh, it's inactivated. So that is like vulnerability hex, really. So, why is that different? Because that's contagious. And that's just on the target. Yeah, so that's an area of effects. So that really belongs over here. I never use Life Ward.
Very well.
Oh, that... Oh, I was going to say that also increases experience from codex, but that's what I've already got. Duh. I don't know if it works on them or not. Maybe this affects my allies, does it? No, it says enemies.
As you say. It is begun.
I realised when I was recording the missing codex note that I don't have the mouse cursor shown during the LP. I think it's too late to change that, and I'm not actually sure that's a bad thing. It makes it look a bit tighter, I think. Yeah, it definitely does lots of damage with the Affliction Hex, and it did a lot of damage to start with.
It is begun. Very well.
I'll just kind of stroll around killing everything. Yes, I can't decide if it's better with the cursor on or off. Maybe I deliberately had it off, I'm not sure. But it's definitely off now. Here then.
We have done well.
Very well. It is begun.
Also, what about all those bloody love letters? Why does this game keep tormenting me?
I think I can help with that.
Oh, I thought we'd completed that quest. I don't know where we've got to go then. I feel like I'm stuck. There's another dungeon to explore. Ah, how about there? There's loads of these guys. Different kinds of darkspawn here. But the darkspawn fighting the darkspawn. It would suggest so. Because we haven't found any Dwarf or Legion of the Dead bodies to loot. We're only finding darkspawn bodies.
I think I can help with that.
Ooh, that was a game save. Let's go finish looting then.
Ooh, lyrium. The Chantry has a monopoly on all lyrium the dwarves mine. They kill anyone who tries to get around it.
Why do the dwarves object to that?
The smugglers do, I'll bet. I used to be a good little Andrastian. I said my prayers, repented my sins, all of it.
Yeah, don't have much choice.
Yes, they do love to make a show of how they're doing it by necessity. It could have been worse. I could have been made tranquil, haggling over the price of a wand. Or I could be with the Canary. I hear they leash their mages. Or I could be dead. Dead's bad.
Instead, you're a Grey Warden.
Right. Death to the Darkspawn. Rah. A related question. What do Grey Wardens do when there aren't Darkspawn running amok? I mean, are there parties? Do we travel the world? Take over small kingdoms?
Yeah, sounds like a good start. Why don't we do that?
My lady, I like the way you think. Me, I intend to take up knitting. I'll send a scarf to the Templar commander every Saturnalia, provided I don't end up in some ogre's belly, chewed up into tiny mage pieces. But I'm an optimist.
Nah, let's fight the Chantry. Bring it down. That's what we're gonna do. Plus, we need all the mages we can get for the next blights. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh, nice! All that broken equipment I found. We've made it all. Oh, that's neat. It was well worth coming this way, wasn't it? Now it tried to save. Why don't we go explore the rest of the dungeon before we go that way? Because there's either going to be a cutscene or a boss battle this way.
Stone remember the defenders of Calheral. Castless and dyed warriors. What? You can't do that? The castless aren't warrior caste just because some high and mighty historical figure said so. Maybe we should find someone to take this back to Orzammar. They'll have the last say.
Well, who cares? No one else even knows. Let them be elevated to the warrior caste, Ogren. Why do we care about that? You're a surfacer now anyway. I mean, they died fighting for their country. Should they not be remembered as warriors or fighters or something? Because they were outcasts and they still fought for you. I don't think it's right to then sully their names and say, oh no, you're actually not dwarves after all, because that's basically what being casteless is, isn't it? I think that's bullshit, Ogren. I think that's grade A bullshit. Right, I think we've explored all we can. Unless I can get on here, we might get there that way. Yeah, let's go back to the autosave.
It's a little dark, isn't it?
Right, what is fighting what then? So you've got hairlocks. All hairlocks. Now, are they going to fight each other? It looks like they're coming straight for me, to be honest. This is an elemental attack. Let's try this too.
I shall do it.
Ah, that's who's yelling. I heard the yelling.
Thank the Maker. It's a relief to see someone who isn't one of those monsters. Please, for the love of all that's good, let me out. I couldn't stand another minute with these creatures.
There are intruders in the dungeon, Master.
What? It's time for more experiments. Yeah, I don't think you should be locked in a cage getting attacked by Darkspawn. Are you alright?
Yes, I haven't been injured or infected with the Darkspawn corruption. I swear.
Why haven't they killed you then? And what are you doing here in the first place?
I overheard Colbert talking about the chasm, and I thought I'd sneak in past the Darkspawn to see if there was any treasure. Well, I found something in this place before the Darkspawn caught me. You can have it if you let me out. I don't want it anymore. It's caused nothing but trouble.
That's very interesting. There was a person called Colburn who told us about this dungeon. I mean, even if he is a Darkspawn or a demon, we can easily kill him. Oh, you got a deal, buddy.
Thank you. My life is worth more than this. Take the blasted thing.
Right, try to get out of here and not get killed.
Thank you. Thank you 1,000,000 times over.
I don't know, really. I've no idea what he gave me.
This anvil must be pretty old. They make them differently these days. Bronco once explained it to me, but I'll be a Nug's uncle if I remember what she said. Crazy harpy. Huh.
I mean, it's going to be pretty fucking old, isn't it? Because the dungeon got deserted ages ago, mate. You alright anyway? Since when do you care about anvils?
Yeah, the thing just reminded me of Bronca, that's all. Look, Warden, I know she's gone. I know it. But sometimes I sod it.
Yeah, I understand what it's like to have your heart broken.
Look at me, whimpering like a wet box of kittens. Let's go make paste out of some darkspawn.
No, it fucking evolved. They're still hatchlings. But I guess they're not larvae, is that right?
Where'd they go?
It shall be done.
Is all that blood mine?
Oh, it looks like a puzzle. In fact, it looks like the same puzzle we already did in the Golems of Amarok DLC. Whether it is or not, I don't know. Alright, let's stick a save in. Let's turn all the noise off. I'm sure there is a clue here. Mind you, there wasn't really a clue before, was there? I just kept bashing them until they worked. Right, there's definitely blue, turquoisey, cyany blue at the back here. Oh, well that doesn't really help me because there isn't a runestone that colour.
It is begun.
Oh, we switched them round, okay. Is there a pattern? No, because we've got to match that. So let's switch that with
It
that.
shall be done.
I understand the puzzle.
As you say. It is begun.
I wonder if we've got a full set of Heroes armor yet. We must have quite a lot of it. If I had Sigrun, she could wear it. How?
My blows have no effect.
It shall be done.
I wonder if that's because we've got this frost weapons thing on. I wish he'd stop doing it, to be honest. It's a waste of his mana. Fireballing myself.
I shall do it.
Chug, 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 chug. Why is it so chuggy?
got a spell just for you.
It hasn't made a huge amount of difference.
I shall do it.
I don't know why my computer hated that room. It seemed to just be a box with boxes in it.
Go ahead.
Ah, we can probably guess if the invaders are fighting the hatchlings. That's all that's there, so it must be. Two exits. Knotwood Hills or lower reaches. Well, I don't think we need to do our inventory yet. We will do at some point. Mind you, I could open the door that way, couldn't I? I bet there was a little one-way door like that in the mines that I've missed. That's why I can't get back in again.
Is anyone else afraid of what we'll find at the end of this corridor?
Pretty wet, rare to see so much water in a deep mine.
The architect sends many, but does not come himself. He is a coward. I will kill you, and he will know that he has failed to destroy the loft. He will know that the mother will tear him apart. Who comes now? I can feel you. But you are no darkspawn! What trickery is he planning? You You will die, as all who serve the Architect will die. The Mother demands it.
There are at least 2 tribes of Darkspawn then, the Architect and the Mother, and they're at war.
I shall do it.
No, you can do any spells, come on man. Don't really know what spells you've got or how they work, but I do know you need to do some spells. I do want to do Time Spiral. Costs a lot of mana, I think. I've got plenty of spells to cast for the time being. Is the Lost dead? No, I've just untargeted him. Oh, I still haven't healed Ogren, sorry, too keen.
Where are these brood mothers and how do we destroy them?
That was a woman's voice. Oh yeah, we've got a whole bunch of new codices. I've almost finished, very nearly finished the original batch of codexes, because I'm not going to read any of the quests. Did the Lost not have any items? Maybe I've already picked them up. I've got to do spell combinations, I won't bother with controls, and I think that is about it. I will probably have to go and read what all the spell combinations are and then fire them off. I've only got a handful. I feel like this episode has been long enough. It might not have been, but it's a good place to stop. So thank you for watching. Come back for the next episode of The Awakening, where we will hunt down the Architect or the Mother. Promises of Pride. Uldred will show us the way. Finally, recognition within the Circle and freedom from the scornful eye of the Templars. We will not be shunned. Be ready. Enchanter Gravid, Libertarian. I have spoken to him directly. His intentions are that we will demand the Templars withdraw. I don't know that I'm willing to follow, but I will be present to hear his argument. Enchanter Fonst, Aquatarian. Madness. I doubt blood will be of use to you if it is flowing down the tower steps. Step away from this folly before it consumes us all. Enchanter Leuven, Loyalist. The call is made. We will stride out of here with pride in our step, regardless of the outcome. This is for the good of the Circle. Uldred will see to it. Libertarian Ronus. Extracurricular Studies. I have the utmost sympathy for what has happened to your charge, but it is beyond the Circle's ability to anticipate every obscure demise that an apprentice might face, especially involving methods outside the already extensive realm of magical study. We simply don't have the room for additional training facilities, and there are concerns about becoming too inclusive that I will not elaborate on. Your request is denied. First Enchanter Sinclair. If space is your excuse, I will surrender my quarters. If it is about money, I will hire the appropriate people. I will not graduate another student ignorant of weapons that any ditch digger can shove into his ribs. We teach them to append ridiculous glamours on parade arms, but they don't know simple steel. That is criminal. Enchanterbergen. Notice herewith that the exercise area on the 4th floor shall serve as a permanent berthing for the Templar garrison stationed at the tower. Since the facilities that accommodate their particular training requirements are already on hand, they will be assuming an even closer watch over circle affairs. Enchanterbergen's optional weapons training is cancelled until further notice. Enchanterbergen has additionally stepped down from teaching duties. First Enchanter Sinclair. The Dead Cast. Friends, we have argued long, but I would propose a different direction. It is not unprecedented that one of our number should end up in the Legion of the Dead. The memories attest to some bewildering falls from grace. Only his choice to volunteer has propelled this beyond mere scandal. The question we must ask is, does this serve us? The Legion has always seemed a last hope of redemption. If a noble joins their number, by choice no less, this can only do good things for enrolment. And we sacrifice only one foolish member, the last of a troublesome house. His reforms are better shouted at the Darkspawn than in these halls. I say, let him go. This is the writ that was passed, Durius. I hope you can live with your decision, because you're lost to it now. From Assembly Minutes regarding the Legion of the Dead, Addendum Unknown. Dearest Jilly, I know things have been difficult since the censure of our house. I had hoped to bear the cost of my actions alone, but if I had a full understanding of consequences, I wouldn't have murdered above my caste in the first place. I did not abandon you lightly, but I knew of no other way to insulate you against my shame than by joining the Legion. It is a half measure that has earned me no right to seek your comfort, but please, I beg you for one moment of foolish optimism. There is talk of a new soldier, a noble. The things I have heard, I will not curse them by voicing aloud, but it may be a path to respectability for my kin, for you. If there remains any official line open to our name, can you verify he is real, that House Farrell is in good stead? A letter from Myers, unsent. May this report find the proper eyes to affect future tactics. We found an enclave of the spawn, possibly a breeding lair, but we could make no approach. There were far more spawn than anticipated, and I divided the squad to draw the main body of the horde away. I do not expect to survive, but I have made certain that most of my men will see another day. I am torn by this, as my petition will go unheard, and that may curse many more of the Legion than would die here. But I simply cannot abandon the men I have looked in the eye and called brother. Perhaps they will not thank me for this, believing themselves already dead, but where there is life there is hope. I will not be the last to see their worth. From a recovered Legion of the Dead field report by Lord Durius Ferreld. Casualty, Durius Ferreld, Lieutenant. Found dead with his squad. The corpse was left untouched, suggesting the Darkspawn feared his spirit even in death. His ferocity defending his men was corroborated by survivors before they succumbed to corruption. It is rare for a soldier's actual death to exceed the honours given at his enlistment, but Ferreld was an odd one, an agitator. His eccentric promises were disruptive, and I fear his death may demoralise more of the Legion than actually heard his fantasies firsthand. He was committed to the stone with his insignia, as honourable a burial as we can manage with the spawn at our heels, but officially he has formed a second front. Better his foolish hopes are diluted by time than killed outright. From a bi-weekly casualty report by Sergeant Unger. By virtue of honoured ancestry and great personal sacrifice on the part of its last descendant, the joining of House Ferreld and the Legion of the Dead is recognised as worthy of investigation by the memories. If the lineage proves intact and sufficient, relations of the Legion of the Dead may be acknowledged as minor nobility, albeit with restrictions. This minor house will now undergo the generational process of admittance to the memories. May honour come to its descendants. As recorded by the memories. The cross-cut drifters. Fools and renegades, the lot of them. We accept that there is a time for ordered and educated treasure hunting, but not when a foundation remains to be cut. What fortunes have they made? What houses have they elevated? The minor veins they have traced have neither satisfied this assembly nor their own gambler's thirst. Their actions can only grow more erratic and undisciplined, and while no incidents have been reported, they will eventually undermine the stability of a major passage. It is the opinion of this assembly that prospecting must be restricted until we can be certain of the stability of the deep roads. These cross-cut drifters can find their fortune in a trade. Let animals burrow wherever their nose points them. Dwarves are meant to excavate by careful degrees. From an assembly memorandum. Rogan cut a beautiful line down our minor vein today, twisting his supports along the footwall like a backbone. He's got a gift for lagging, it's almost crystalline. I swear I could tap it and hear the stone sing, non-standard, by any inspector's measure, but that's the sodding point, isn't it? We're letting the stone take us where she wants, not gouging out highways so the palace can have another pantry. I suspect they will revoke our privileges at the next assembly sitting. I say good luck to them, they'll never find us to deliver the writ. They are afraid of the road we travel. We're close to a major strike. The stone, she's pulling us to something, and to the vents if I'll let any dwarves deny their sense get in the way of it. From the Journal of Brunar, Founding Fellow, Crosscut Drifters. We found trouble alright. Rogan's Lyrian vein led right to the flank of a Darkspawn horde. From the look of their kit, the spawn were a week, maybe less, from breakthrough into that blasted new highway under Orzammar, and they'd be well behind any patrols. The stone knew, she knew, and she drew her chosen with the promise of all we could taste in our bones. If all goes well, losing this cavern will kill the Darkspawn's taste for digging, and Orzammar will never know it was at risk. We'll be a distant tremor, a ripple in the royal fountain. The charges are laid, we know it will work, and we know the cost. The stone has shown us the way home. From the Journal of Brunar, Founding Fellow, Crosscut Drifters. The Shaper's Life. The blessing of the Shaperer is given only to those who walk with the stone. It is a path that cuts deep, and the road is far from secure, but those who desire to work in memory must first honour it. Document the stone, protect her, and present a new history to the memories. Only then will the blessing of the Shaperer be upon you, from the Shaper's Life. Orzammar has carved a legacy from the stone, but history is more than the comings and goings that fill the streets. These caverns are old cuts and well travelled. The true will of the stone is revealed far from the halls of politics and commerce. The Shaper must step away from the familiar and seek out revelations from the frontier or bury secrets from paths abandoned. The Shaper must first walk away if he is to return. First steps from the Shaper's life. Far from abandoned, the deep roads are patrolled by those who fight for Orzammar and the stone. These defenders have seen great and tragic events unfold, but they are committed to the moment, not the memory. It is the Shaper's burden to walk this path with a mind to observation. He will fight if pressed, every dwarf owes that to the stone, but his purpose is to record, not create. Although dark and deep, the old paths are alive with deeds. Only the dedication of the Shaper can ensure they are not lost to the memories. The old path from the Shaper's life. Before the Darkspawn, the stone held an empire, dozens of taigs, each cavern a shade of dwarven pride, communities separate but united. They fell by degrees, ruins crumbled into tombstones, a forgotten glory. But the stone is a living history, and absence can reveal more than constant scrutiny does. As the stone shifts, she chooses what remains buried and what must see the light. The Shapers must return, must walk the lost way, so the children of the stone can see what has been surrendered and what can be gained. This is the sacrifice of the Shaper, the lost way from the Shaper's life. Topsider's honour. The fool has been following us for 3 days, but what can I do? I'm sure a city guard could lock him up for being a sodding idiot, but there's no law that says you can't seek your death in the trenches. There's no law down here at all. I said to his face that if he puts our patrol at risk, I'd split him myself, but he's quiet, I'll give him that. Topsiders usually assume that the Blight erases the Darkspawn from the world. Why does this one care that his victory just drives them back on our doorstep? It's one thing to face them up in the light, he'll cut his own shaft out of here once he fights them in the dark where they live. That or the lyrium will get him. From a Legion of the Dead field report by Lieutenant Gant. I swear, Mortavold, I have never seen the like. This elf fought like a man possessed. His strikes were light and did not echo on the stone like those of our greatest, but the precision was that of a Shaper carving a memory across the Darkspawn. Damned if we didn't raise our glasses to him last eve and share stories of honoured family. What a topsider. In the lyrium glow, he looked no more out of place than any of us. It makes me think of Cousin Byrne. I wonder how he fares on the surface. I think if he sends another letter, I will read it. Ties of kin should be stronger than where we choose to do business. From a letter from Corporal Trovoid Orison, date unknown. The stone take this topsider as she would welcome her own. He was born to air and sky, but has served the deep roads better than a native son. Many will see another day because he fought at their side and fell in their stead. We don't know his rights, and I fear the loss of his family blade may cause unrest on whatever journey he faces, but we know him as a brother in blood, and extend that which is sacred to us. Willem Trialmont, if the path home is dark, the stone is honoured to have you in the foundation. Epitaph for Willem Trialmont, 7-5 Storm Age. There must always be another to take up arms against the darkness. That is the core of true family beyond kin, and the unifying link that will bring day to night and allow the fallen to rest. Restored inscription from the Trialmont family blade. Jammer's stash. Been a profitable season, Kanki. Cutthroat too, so we've got to be careful. I'm taking my half topside so I can get a good price. Your half is in my stash box. It's got one of PK's locks on it. Standard drill, you need the 3 pieces of junk from our common chests to even try and open it. She set them up high-low because you got the best eye for value in this dig. So, yeah, I faked some loot. Take only the cheapest looking piece in each chest and you'll be able to open the stash box. I wired the expensive looking stuff as bait. You take the right one or you don't, and if you don't, I hope you like having a limp. Good luck, Jammer. A letter from the Blackstone Irregulars. A letter, written in careful script, addressed to you. To the inimitable Grey Warden. Your deeds have spread since the tragedy of Ostagar, and I find myself in need of one such as you. I am Raelnar, captain of the venerable Blackstone Irregulars, and I hope to win your trust. The Irregulars have come on hard times since the war with Orlais, but I have fought to improve their reputation. Gone are the days of my father's shady deals with unscrupulous nobles in Denerim. No, I've trained a guild filled with honourable men, ready to fight for Ferelden, and I am proud to say that I've seen your own Grey Wardens as a sort of model. We are not perfect. My own son advocates a move back to the more lucrative ways my father ran the guild, but we are steadfast. It is in this context that I ask for your help. And I promise we will reward you accordingly. Should you be willing, please find letters in this box and others like it all over the land, and carry out the requests therein. For this matter, consider requests from my son as if they came from myself. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart, whether you choose to assist us or not. You are doing the Maker's work, Warden, and I am honoured to work with you, Raelnar. The letter is marked with the seal of the Blackstone Irregulars. The Blackstone Letter of Conscription. Dear friend, you are receiving this letter because you or someone else has placed your name on an article of conscription, thereby pledging your life to the Blackstone Irregulars. With war looming on all fronts, the Irregulars must build their numbers. We are forced to call upon those who have sworn their assistance to make good on those oaths. Say farewell to your family and friends. While you may return to them, you must prepare them for the possibility that this will be your last day together. Your sacrifice is appreciated. Tauren. This letter is marked with the seal of the Blackstone Irregulars. Blackstone Letter of Condolences. My dear lady, it is with great regret that I must inform you of the death of your husband. He died as he lived, with the greatest honour, completing a task of vital importance to the Guild. Rest assured that we will take vengeance on those responsible for his death. Please accept my condolences for your loss. Raelnar Hawkwind. This letter is marked with the seal of the Blackstone Irregulars. Asunder. The ritual was very specific, as such things probably should be. Torso, head and limbs spread amongst the deep rows to prevent the creature from returning. It looks like they died during the cutting, but we can fulfill the last part in their stead. I'm not familiar with elven ritual, why would I be? But it seems pretty straightforward. Shaper Axis. Scribbled in the corner. Never even saw the thing. Better sword would take care of it. Sod it. And this bag of legs. Might not be elven, maybe human. Doesn't matter, we can still follow directions. Torso, head and limbs bagged and dispersed. Simple enough. This magic stuff doesn't seem overcomplicated. Shaper Axis. Scribbled in the corner. No job for a warrior. First hole gets the bag. A torn ritual page of indeterminate origin. The body rendered to its separate parts, spread wide such that no life is witnessed, no heartbeat detected. In this way the beast can remain for an age, as knowledge passes and pursuers live out their lives. Scribbled in the corner. I was wrong, not elven. Hunters didn't kill it. It allowed this? Keep the pieces apart, I guess, away from the heart. These scratchings should be unreadable, but meaning swims in your head, as though whispered. The limbs were meat, the torso but a vessel, the head all but unnecessary. The heart, separate, keeps life. The heart, safe from the blade, can be restored. The heart waits in the fade. Rough inscription, author unknown. Unbound. The riders follow after every town, ever since my lucky break deciphering the story. I see it now, how they took the locals closest to me, preventing rest or kinship. I thought this a road to glory, but I am dogged at every step by his talons. Gaxkang, curse his name, and the day I heard it. Journal excerpt from an unnamed long-dead adventurer. You asked, so I'm telling, don't go. The stories talk of the riches, but never the names, never where they supposedly spent their wealth. I heard the same tale as a lad in Denerim, felt the same pull, but it's a lie, son. They may paint a trail, but once you're on it, does it lead to the beast or back to you? Unsigned letter from father to son. 3 weathered parchments with 3 versions of the same incomplete story. Excerpt. And when his kingdom fell, so disappeared the stolen riches of an age. The beast, the unbound, dormant until one of the true spirit claims his throne. So must hunt the hero of his people, the principled who would search for an ancient evil. This is how they can make a real difference. Scribbled in the corner in a shaky hand. 3 pages, 3 ages, same story updated, same as the tavern song but older. Signature torn on purpose, but compare and get. Vilm, Maiden, all from him. Howe.